This has been a wonderful, wonderful place for me to have the opportunity as a first generation student myself to then end up being the president of the university. So my parents didn't have an opportunity to go to college at all. So literally to go from one generation of no college to being a college president, it's an amazing testament to U.S. higher education. I'm not sure in many places around the world whether that kind of trajectory is possible. And I view Texas Wesleyan's mission as being that kind of transformative mission. In fact, I like to say that our mission really is transforming the world by transforming lives one student at a time. It certainly happened for me, and I hope it's happening for students who attend Texas Wesleyan.
So when I think about President Slabach, I use two words. The first is transformative. That's really what his leadership has been, not just for this university, but for this community. In many ways, he's brought Texas Wesleyan to the forefront, not just a part of East Fort Worth, but the entire community here has really embraced how important this university is to our history and our heritage as a city, but importantly, what it means to be an economic development beacon for this entire community. And the second piece is just that key word of leadership. I mean, he wears that on his sleeve every single day on behalf of this university. His family believed in this cause. Everyone around him on his senior cabinet believed in it. And because of that, this university is thriving. And think about what his leadership meant, especially during COVID. I mean, you had small regional universities shutting their doors because of how hard this pandemic was. But thanks to Fred's steadfast leadership for this school, we're better than ever. And I know that he's passing the torch to the next generation of leadership here, and they're in really good hands.
The next president of the university, I think, will obviously have challenges, but I think that we have built a platform for the next president to really have the opportunity for some stable growth and improvement. The biggest piece of advice I think I could give the next president would be to engage with the Fort Worth community. It is a wonderful community that wants all of its institutions to be the best they can possibly be. So rely on that community, engage with that community, and they'll be able to help you achieve your goals. Texas Wesleyan is really important to the community of Fort Worth, but especially the community here in Polytechnic Heights. We have the ability to help economically revitalize the neighborhood. We are a great partner for all the various neighborhood associations and the businesses in town. We obviously have a huge economic impact on the community, but we also have an impact on Fort Worth and the Fort Worth-Dallas metropolitan area as well. The campus has been revitalized with the new entryway to the campus, the new Martin University Center, renovations of scientific labs, classrooms. There are a lot of things that are physically different about the campus. There's also a huge difference in terms of the financial viability of the university. Over the last 12 years, we are in a much better place now in terms of our fundraising. We had a record year in fiscal year 22 with more than $15 million raised for the university, and our operating budgets are in much better shape than they were 12 years ago as well. But the thing that has remained constant has been that smaller, smarter focus. Intentionally small classes with really great faculty and the quality of the education. My favorite memories have to do with the robing ceremony. Every fall and spring, the day before graduation, we have a ceremony that allows an individual student who's graduating to identify a faculty member who has been particularly important to them during their career. And the faculty member gets to actually put the student's robe on them. And it's a really wonderful, wonderful experience. Wonderful memories from that. The thing that I'm most proud of is the fact that we have increased the number of students who have the opportunity to take advantage of our smaller, smarter education here at Texas Wesleyan. That's what it's really all about. The wonderful thing about athletics at our level of play is that students who come to Texas Wesleyan are coming to get a good education, but they want to go somewhere that they can continue to play their sport just for the love of the game. That's sort of old school college athletics, and that's something that I'm very, very proud of. I will say that one of the biggest additions that we made to our athletic program was the addition of football after 75 years of not having a football program here at Texas Wesleyan. And the first year that we announced we were bringing back football, the most popular T-shirt on campus said Texas Wesleyan football undefeated since 1941. And then, of course, we played our first game, and those T-shirts became a collector's item. But in 5 short years, we went from winning 0 games in our first season to having a share of the conference championship this past fall.
You all have been absolutely wonderful to get to work with. I mentioned to a couple of you that back in January when the announcement was made that I'd be leaving, people started giving me all sorts of credit for things that have been happening here, far too much credit. I know that we've got a great team of faculty and staff who really do all the work. It's the president's job to go out and brag on the faculty and staff for all the wonderful things that happen at Texas Wesleyan University. So sometimes I get credit for things that I didn't have anything to do with. I'm glad always to take credit for all the wonderful things that you all do. But I know, and everyone who will listen to me knows, that it's because of all of you who have done such amazing, amazing things. I've begun to think about my time here as one leg of a relay race, a marathon relay race. And my hope is that I've run my leg strongly, and that I'll be able to pass the baton to somebody else who'll be able to pick back up, and with the help of all of you, we'll be able to continue to move the university forward. So thank you all very, very much. I'm very, very blessed to have been able to spend 12 years here at this wonderful institution. And I look forward to seeing even more wonderful things for Texas Wesleyan.